Good afternoon, everybody. This is Eric Allard with Tilson Homes, Senior Vice President and a member of Tilson's fourth generation. So grateful you are joining us today for another one of our live chats with our sales consultants on customizing one of our plans. As always, we have Dawn Dantzler, who'll be moderating. Say hello, Dawn.
Hi, everybody.
Dawn is our Director of Marketing. She'll be moderating the chat. You guys chat out your questions through this. Anything that has to do with either the plan we're talking about, any other plan, anything about building a custom home on your land, we're here to answer them. And we are so lucky today to be joined by Mallory from our Boerne location. Say hello, Mallory.
Hi.
All right. And we're going to be talking about the Driftwood today, which we do have a model home of, but Mallory took some customers of hers through a bunch of changes to it, and it turned out beautiful. And we want her to share that with us and with you guys. So Mallory Martinez, tell us a little bit about your journey with Tilson, how long you've been here, what you enjoy doing with your customers. Take it away.
My name is Mallory Martinez, and I have been here coming up on 5 years in October. I think my favorite part, of course, is the beginning and the end. Taking a plan and customizing it, and then going through it at the end and seeing that drawing, that dream be a real physical forever home for someone.
For sure. Yes. And so, again, thank you for joining us. I know that you have been really busy lately. We've been super blessed here. We've been staying very busy. We're very lucky that our governor kept us essential. So we've been doing that, and our customers are super resilient, and they just want to be out on their land away from everybody else right now. So we're grateful for that opportunity. And Mallory has been booked wall to wall. So for her to take time out of her day today is really special to me. Thank you for doing that, Mallory. So without further ado, I'm going to switch over and start doing the PowerPoint. Mallory, tell us a little about this customer's journey. Tell us about where they're coming from, where they're going to, and kind of what brought them to the Driftwood floor plan, and then we'll go from there.
Absolutely. Well, this one is very special to them and to me. Mr. Trevino, the father of the family, has been looking at Tilson Homes for decades. He has looked up, he used to watch our commercials. He would YouTube every video, everything, stalking in a non-creepy manner. And his family would always give him such hard times, like, oh, it's just a dream. You're never going to be able to do this. And he's like, I will. You watch me, I'll do it. And he did. He fell in love. He's looked at all of our plans, fell in love with the Driftwood, knew exactly what he wanted and made it happen.
So he had been, I remember him referencing, he'd gone to the location in Houston, like the old location in Houston, right? So that location was there from 1961 until 2017-ish, but sometime in the 80s and 90s, he was going into that location, didn't have any land, just going through and dreaming. That's what I gathered anyway that he was doing, which I thought was a great story. It's a great story to be able to set your goals on something that you don't really have any way to accomplish it right this second, but you take little steps all along the way to get you there, and they got there, and you helped them. So let's go through and talk a little about the Driftwood. What was it about that you led them to that?
I think a lot of it helped is similar to our office here. You just walk in the front door, and it is this big, beautiful family room and truss going all the way out to their view. They just loved everything about it. Just kind of that moment of walking in, was like, oh, this is where I want to come home every day.
Yeah, so they've been building on a couple of acres out in Pipe Creek, Texas, Bandera County. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's a big shift from the hustle and bustle of the fourth largest city in America of Houston out to a couple acres in Pipe Creek, Texas. It's just the vision of so many of our customers. So,
oh yes, he's still traveling to Houston for work. Looking forward to when he can stay.
Oh, I bet. Oh my gosh, yeah, that has to be really tough. You've had that taste of freedom and independence, only to have to go back. That's great.
Yeah.
All right, so they had the big cathedral ceiling covered porch. You said they loved the floor plan. So, we have it set up as a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath plan. Obviously, we have a way to make it a 4-bedroom. You're going to show us a little more about that. So tell us a little bit about what their needs were and kind of walk us through some of the changes that they made.
Well, there were 3 kids. We have 3 kids, and no real need for a study, so we converted that study into a 4th bedroom. And the big one, I think, was the garage there. A lot of HOAs require a certain facing doors or masonry requirements, and in this one happened to be those doors need to be on the right, so we reversed those and added some windows, so when you come up, it's still very much like the front of the home.
Interesting. So I want to go back a little bit, because you and I will use lingo sometimes that maybe the rest of the world isn't familiar with. So, oh, believe me, I had to learn this lesson too. So and you guys chat your questions out. We're here to answer all your questions, but she referenced an acronym called a HOA. So tell us a little bit more about what that is, Mallory, and how they affect some of these things.
A lot of times you will hear HOA, Homeowners Association, or ACC, an Architectural Control Committee, and they are there to ensure the value of your home, of your property, to make sure everything in the area stays real nice. And a lot of times when you buy the property, you will see a list of restrictions. And they say, we need this much masonry, or we need it to look, match the natural rocks or environment. Or if the garages, they have to be side facing, forward facing, left facing. Generally, it's cannot be facing front road.
Right. So in this particular case, the Homeowners Association, and again, they're there to kind of set up and help protect property values, right? I mean, so it's fairly free out there, but it is okay to have some restrictions so that to protect your property value. In this case, they don't want to be able to basically see garage doors from the street.
And this one was actually really neat, not to sidetrack here, but there was also one that you couldn't have your garbage, your recycling bins or trash bins out there. So we ended up bumping out that garage a little bit more, so there was a space to the rear right there to have to put recycle bins and such.
Interesting. That sounds like a swanky place that you found here.
It was. They actually have some more property out there I've been looking at.
Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so that was the garage. Tell us about what else they did change-wise.
Big one was that the rear porch. When we did masonry all around and we wrapped those rough sawn columns to match the front. We wrapped them in stone so they would match the columns on the front. And we bumped that out a good 8 feet in depth.
Oh, wow.
And then put that real pretty soffit underneath it, that real soffit. So it looked like it basically wood and stone everywhere.
So this porch is actually larger than the family room. I just noticed that.
I actually did not notice that either, but yes, and it's beautiful.
Wow. But I mean, that's why folks of ours are buying that piece of property, right? Is to enjoy that outdoor space. They're on 2 acres, and they're probably moving from a city lot in Houston that it may have been 50, 60, maybe 70 feet wide. And yeah, they didn't have any. I mean, I'll be honest. Okay, born and raised in the Houston area, but we don't exactly have the vistas or views that you guys have out there in the hill country. So I can see jumping out there and wanting to do the big 20 by 20 living room outside. So no harm, no foul there. And we have some pictures that we'll show folks in a minute. But you guys chat your questions out, and I'll have Mallory take us through the other 2 or 3 changes that they made, and then we will pause and answer some questions. How's that sound, Mallory?
Sounds great. Another one that we really wanted, ended up doing a little towards the end, was adding a pot filler at the back of that cooktop. We did farmhouse sink and a pot filler, oil rub bronze, and it's just the colors they selected. I'm sure we'll look at the pictures, but just went really beautifully in there. We also did the chimney vent hood and took the backsplash up a bit. So we opened up the kitchen.
Beautiful. And they did do the fireplace.
Yes. With the matching real soffit behind where the TV sets.
Oh, nice. And you are setting up for lots of beautiful pictures that we're going to be looking at here in just a minute. So a little bit going into that the stone on the back and the stone on the chimney of the home. Did that have to do with the Property Owners Association requirement?
Not 100%. They did have a masonry requirement, but Mr. Trevino actually wanted to go in and add more stone.
Okay.
He knew exactly in his mind what he wanted his home to look like.
Yeah.
And so.
Yeah, we do get a lot of questions from time to time about, how often you have to paint hardy plank and different things like that. Like hardy plank is obviously a phenomenal product. We believe firmly that it is a cement masonry based product, but a lot of architecture control committees, like you described earlier, don't count it necessarily as masonry. So they want to see stone or stucco or brick, and it does have to be repainted, but out in the hill country, maybe every 15 years or so. I mean, it can go quite a while, depending on what direction it's facing, and then the paint that's on it. But stone, obviously, you don't ever have to paint stone. So, okay, Dawn, do we want to stop there? If you got, do we have any questions that we've seen so far that we need to answer? Or?
Yeah, we have a couple questions. Veronica is asking if we can change ceiling heights to make everything higher.
Mallory, can we change ceiling heights in these houses?
We can. Most definitely, we can change the ceiling heights.
Yeah. There's different ways to do it, and thank you for asking that question. So we can do, so for instance, you're going to see later this where you do the cathedral ceiling in, like the family room area. This house already comes with 9 and 10 foot ceilings pretty well everywhere, but we have had customers that will take them even taller than that, 10 and 12 foot ceilings if you want to do something like that. As long as you're not doing some type of an upstairs that you'll need that attic volume, then truly the roof is the limit, theoretically, as far as how high you can take it. As long as there's some things in consideration we need to think about, like how are we going to get AC work from one side of the house to the other. Make sure we got room for the duct work to go and for those return airs to go back, and you got exhaust fans from your bathrooms and utility room that have to go up. So there is stuff happening in your attic. We don't have just endless use of cubic footage, but you've got a lot of room to work on ceiling height if you wanted to do something like that.
Okay, awesome. Andrew is asking, what are our typical price ranges on homes?
So they can run anywhere from $150 up. Just really, it should be, especially with all of our new plans, there's really something for everyone, and there are a lot of really good options that are already included in there, so you don't need to really rack up the price to have a beautiful home.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Kimberly is asking if we've done garages that can accommodate an RV.
I have. I've done some, particularly recently, that I built a Wimberley that has the garage and then a detached garage with an RV poured over it with all the hookups for septic, water, electric, everything to it. So most definitely that is very doable.
Yeah, Kimberly, that's a great question. We can do the taller doors. They're typically, in that case, going to be a roll-up door as opposed to just a conventional overhead door, but we've done both kinds. So great question. Thanks for asking.
Okay. And we don't have any more questions. We do have quite a few people who just want to say hi to Mallory and let her know that they're watching her and cheering her on. So Tiffany says hi. Kimberly actually has an appointment with you next weekend, so she's super excited to meet you.
Hey, Kimberly, I look forward to meeting you too. Thank you.
And then Wesley just wanted to let you know how much he loves his Tilson home that you helped him build in 2017. He wanted to say hi.
Hi, thank you. Hi, how are you?
We're going to turn this into the Hi Mallory show. Hi,
Mom.
Hi, Mom.
Leslie says hi too.
Very, very cool. All right. Well, enough of that. Let's get back to what we're trying to help people with. No, that was great. Thank you guys all for doing that. It really does move us. So we're going to talk a little bit about the exact house we built, show some pictures, have Mallory take us through some of these exterior shots, and then we'll move on to the interior. So back to you, Mallory.
Excellent. Well, on the front, I'm particularly pleased. This is my favorite stone choice, so I get so happy when people choose it. You'll also see there on the garage where we added some extra windows and an exterior door there to connect the sidewalks to both the parking area and the front door. That way, a lot of times I get folks, well, I need a sidewalk too because I want everyone to see this beautiful front door that I selected.
Right. Gorgeous. Yeah. So you can see, like, if you're the subdivision, you're driving by on the road, like you apart from you kind of just know there's a garage somewhere, but you really wouldn't be able to recognize this part of the structure as a garage at all. And that's what that subdivision is trying to accomplish, right? Is they don't want a bunch of overhead doors sitting around, and it's, you know, kind of nice. People don't really know if you're home or if you're not home. So for security reasons, that's kind of a nice touch there.
That's what I always say about the front doors. When the glass front doors, sometimes I like a more solid one because I don't always want to be home.
Yeah, maybe I don't want to be there. Maybe I don't want you to be. Very cool. Tell us a little bit about what we see going on inside. This is gorgeous. Their daughter did a lot of the interior design with us. So I'm particularly fond of the type of vent hood they did that matches all the cabinetry. Thought that was really pretty, and we opted for the wood flooring as well. Yeah, so I know you talked about it earlier, and we have a closer shot, but tell us about what they did here on the backsplash.
That was a really good. They actually ended up while under construction out of that. Chauncey, our builder, our superintendent, he recommended that. It was really good recommendation. It's very pretty. Taking that tile all the way to the ceiling. Normally, it would end right under that vent hood, and we extended it all the way to the ceiling to be behind the chimney vent hood. Very
cool. Really warm colors that we're using. I also see looks like a refrigerator that came off the Millennium Falcon here. We got.
It is. They said that they would be watching this video from that.
I can confidently say I don't think I've ever been in someone else's refrigerator, but
it's really neat. I wanted to touch it so bad when I was there.
So tell us a little about the appliances they went with here, apart from the refrigerator, obviously, which is gorgeous. But
so we decided not to do the microwave vent hood over the cooktop. We wanted a pot filler, and so we did the wall oven with the microwave built in above, and the chimney vent hood, and the 36-inch cooktop.
Yeah, and so the way this works, folks, is that there is an actual appliance up in here that's just concealed by this decorative wood hood, and it does vent all the way out to the outside, so through the attic and on into the outside. So very beautiful, very, very beautiful. So here's a close up of what are we looking at here. We got some detail here.
I'm sorry. So, pot filler. Yes. That actually ended up getting added towards the end as well. We really, really wanted that pot filler, so that was one of the reasons we ended up changing the appliance package so we could get the space for it.
So trying to carry, 20 pounds of water from the sink over to the cooktop. They just fill it up right there. Huh?
It's really handy for crawfish boils.
Of course.
And then the tile niche, I really like those where it's just kind of inset back there, so you can put your oils in and it kind of makes the pot filler pop a little bit, I think.
No, this is beautiful accent, really beautiful touch that y'all did. I believe very much in this saying. That's pretty meaningful, particularly given in light of recent times. So very, very cool. Tell us a little about the dining area. Now, this house just has the one dining area. What do you see trending with customers these days about one versus two?
Everyone, I haven't been doing very many formal dining rooms, and more often than not, they were getting converted into studies or bedrooms, or covered porches and taking that space, living area, and moving it around a bit. Driftwood is one of my favorites because I kind of prefer a little bit of a dining definition. So it's still like a dining room, but open to all the rest of the areas as well.
Yeah, you've got 180-degree views from their eating area. This is beautiful property, really well thought out. And I know we could barely see the door over here. What was? I'll go back a couple of slides. Tell us about this.
Yes. That was an addition as well. It's the pantry door that says pantry. We have a matching utility one. I don't think we did it here, but it's beautiful. He really wanted to add it. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna do it, and everyone is very pleased.
Very cool. And if you get lost, you kind of know where you are, which is
exactly. Yes. And the little one, that is his favorite hiding spot.
Oh, perfect.
That's where he goes.
That's awesome. And then tell us a little bit about what they did in the family room space.
So here the fireplace, you can kind of see it a bit here. We did the real soffit behind the TV, and kind of matching trim. We did the one-step rough sawn trim instead of your typical painted crown mold.
Yeah.
And with the matching beam going across the front or top.
Yep. So people have an option basically if you know, they can do crown molding if they want kind of a more traditional look, or if they're going for more of that rustic, in this case particularly hill country feel. You know, they're using so many beautiful wood accents that it just made perfect sense to continue that on.
And particularly on this plan, because it's the exterior, it's very much a continuation. Like all the outside is on the inside is on the outside. So when you're inside, when it's 110 degrees outside,
right,
you still kind of get that outdoor.
Summer is coming.
Yes, so you can take turns. You can go out on the back porch and grill, and then just kind of pass back and forth.
Nice. And there's doors here going to the family room, and I think there's also the door going here from the breakfast. So if you're grilling and cooking and you get back and forth to that awesome pot filler, you can make that happen. All right, tell us about what's going on in the master.
In the master bath here, we've got our two tall linen cabinets on either end for some extra storage space and in towel drop, and kind of our double vanity.
And it looks like they went with I think this is this an included granite?
It is. So everything. The granite they selected there, and I think everywhere else was an included in the kind of level 1 included costs.
Yeah, so you can really get a beautiful home without having to upgrade a whole bunch of stuff. Really anything if you didn't want to. So.
I think it's the same with the light fixtures, I believe.
Yeah.
I think the only thing we really did in here was I think we did the naughty older cabinets and then the older bronze faucets, and I mean. Naughty Alder cabinets are very reasonable. It's not a big jump or anything.
And you guys keep asking your questions in the chat there. We'll answer everything that we can. Tell us a little bit about what's going on with this with the tub, Mallory.
Oh, we have our tub deck there, and I believe we did the granite on top. And for a soaking tub, I don't think we did jets here, but of course that is an option with that big window behind. So.
It's a real clean look. And we've gone to where we're using the cabinets on the fronts of the tub, which we really like, as opposed to the tile or something like that. It brings more of that, just that natural look and kind of ties it in. But also, it's a whole lot easier to service the valve and the drain, those kind of things. Over time, if you got to clean the drain out, it's really nice to be able to get in there and actually access it. And the shower appears to be pretty well. The stock, is that about right?
It was, yeah. All this was already included in the base plan. You can't really tell from here, but there's a nice long bench across the rear of the shower.
Yeah. Very nice. And it looks like they did a little bit wider casing and baseboard.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it looks like the LED lighting kept it on.
Yeah, we did the wide base and case, the 8-foot doors everywhere. And my favorite is the carriage style garage doors. I love those.
And that's really just hardware that can be added to about any door that we have, right?
It's not much. I mean, I think it
looks like they've got central command going on here.
Yeah. But
my guess is, given where they built, my guess is one of those for sure is TV. The other one's probably their internet access. That's part of the beauty of being out in the middle of nowhere, is you're kind of unbothered. But yeah, the way they reverse that garage around, still have access, the same size, but still be able to comply with the subdivision constraints.
And it's nice because they have a basketball goal out there, so when you pull the cars in, there's plenty of.
They've got full court. You get more playing on this one.
This home is very much built for large family use. Having guests over and family gatherings. So.
That's what we're after. And then now let's talk about the real crown jewel of what they did here. Tell us about this on the back.
Yeah, they're a large back porch. So we added about 8 feet in depth and opened it up across the rear. So I think there's planning on doing a fire pit outside. So it's a nice large area that you can grill, have those barbecues and access the family room. And we wrapped we added stone all across the rear.
Yeah.
Right there. And then wrapped those, the columns, those roofs on cedar posts, wrap them in stone to kind of bring this whole home is kind of one continuous flow.
Yeah. So the front, going back to these, so that what you're saying, he really had a vision that he wanted to complete. And then the stone up in the cathedral part, just really, I mean, this is beautiful. And they ended up doing stone on the fireplace as well. All right, now tell us a little bit about this.
This is actually one of the most popular changes, I think, in all of our new plans. It's like an easy clickable option to add. That rough sawn cedar truss is just, we have it here in our office in Boerne. We have it in the model in Georgetown, and it's in my opinion, I will be definitely, when I build my Tilson home, I will definitely be having this. That is my one want. With the real soffit underneath, that really also ties in the interior home to the exterior. It's just a beautiful.
Yeah. So a little about this product, folks. This is she's referred to it as real soffit. That's the brand that it is. It is in fact real wood. It's a tongue and groove product that we get, and it's actually pre-finished. There's a couple of different, probably 4 or 5 different stain options. Mallory, is that about right?
Yes, sir. Yep, we have several different options, and they're all one cost.
Yeah, and so this is, obviously in lieu of it would be hardy plank, otherwise hardy soffit, which is a great product, but this, I mean, as far as a custom look, this completely changes the look of the home.
Especially you just tie it in with the rough sawn stain on the home, the railings, and the truss.
Very nice. Y'all did a great job with this.
Fireplace to put that behind.
Do what? Oh yeah, that's right.
Fireplace like they did. We put this behind where the TV inset is.
Sure. All right. Well, you guys, we got some more questions I think that have popped up. Dawn, do we have any more questions that we can help with right this second?
Yes, we do have a couple.
We can impart more of her wisdom on her fan club.
So Pablo and Martin are asking if there's an extra cost for clearing land at Texas Grand Ranch. They have 2 acres out there.
I can answer this. So probably what we've got, Pablo, is we actually have a package for Texas Grand Ranch where we include the clearing. If you want us to do that, it can be done either way. So we have it where we do the clearing, septic, driveway, culvert, construction drive, the whole shooting match. We have that done for that specific subdivision where we have a model. That's where our LaSalle model is. So yes, we absolutely can include it, or either you can have it done, or we will get it done, and we have the pricing for that. That the sales consultants there, Amy or Catherine, can walk you through that very, very easily. And we have one part where you can just underbrush. That's a price just for that, and then a price for the full-on clearing, and it includes the package we've done is for a 100 by 100 area, which is about a half. A little, well, not quite, about a quarter acre. So, but 100 by 100 space for that. Really, you don't want. And actually, Texas Grand Ranch is pretty particular about not wanting to clear, obviously, the whole property. They want the trees, and I'm sure they want a lot there. They want the trees, so we try to clear as minimum amount as we can, but still making trees come true. So. Great question. Thanks, Pablo.
Okay. Diane is asking if we have to put shutters on the windows. And then second question, can we get tin on the decorative roof above outside windows?
So you do not have to put shutters on the windows. You can, if you like. You can do just the rough sawn cedar headers. You can do neither, really, whichever you prefer. And I have done like the metal roofing. Is that the question? Metal over just the.
Yeah, I think I was asking.
Oh, sorry.
So yeah, if we're looking at it right, if you go back to the front elevation, Dawn, so the shutters are just really to break up, a whole lot of stone. and that's why we've got them here, like on this side of the home here, and kind of over here. You know, they aren't really serving. This is actually a half bath on the other side of this wall, so obviously we don't want a window there. But it was just kind of an effort to break up some of that stone, and you can see where we don't have them on this particular part. So it's up to you if you want the shutters or not. They're nice sometimes to break up a big old wall of stone or brick, but they are fixed to the home. They don't serve a purpose as far as being able to close them or anything like that. And then yeah, we could do we have done cases where we do metal metal on the whole house, or metal over these little gables here. You can do that. It's not, I mean, obviously it's more money. We have to get a bid if we're going to do just this small part, because it's a different trade. You have to mobilize an additional contractor to do that. It's not typically the same one that does the shingle. So we want to get a price on that, but yeah, it can absolutely be done.
Okay, great. Angelica is asking if blinds are included in the homes, and if not, can they be added?
So Angelica, we used to have a program, and I think in the 4 years we had it, we sold one set of blinds. It just wasn't something that our customers were real big on having, or they want to be able to, you know, to try and include a program that had enough options for people. It was overwhelming for them, and they just wanted to do it after the fact, kind of after they got their furniture arranged, where they wanted to have drapes versus where they wanted to have blinds. And so no, we don't really have a blind or drape program. I'm sorry, blind or shutter program. Not to say that we couldn't or wouldn't, but I don't know. Mallory, do you have a lot of people who ask about that?
I don't. Not often. A lot of times I visited one homeowner who had this really cool like egg that opened and closed all the blinds. So like Eric said, there are just so many options and so many wants. But usually it's something folks do after the fact.
Right.
Okay, great. Ms. Trevino says hi.
Hi, Marissa.
Everybody, this is whose house we've been looking at today.
And it's so beautiful. I love it.
Yes, Mr. Trevino, thank you for sharing. Thanks for letting us do this with you guys. This is beautiful.
And then let's see. Kimberly has a question about outdoor kitchens. Have we ever done outdoor kitchens on back patios?
I have roughed in for outdoor kitchens that have been completed after the fact. So we've done like gas, all the hookups for your sink, everything to prep the area. I personally have not done any. Not sure that is something we currently have.
Kimberly, yeah, we have done them. We got to get pretty specific on what you're wanting, because they're same thing kind of going with the blinds. There's such a wide array of like cooktops and built-in refrigerators, and what do you want for a sink, and but we've done everything from what Mallory just described, which is kind of rough in for it, so it's ready to go. Maybe once you guys move in, have a better idea of how you want to use the space, all the way up and through into, okay, yeah, we're doing stone wall here with granite countertop here, sink here. It's just what we have found most of our customers are happy with is kind of once they get in and get settled and know how they're going to use the space. Like Mallory was saying, they're going to put a fire pit out here somewhere. So, whatever outdoor kitchen you build, like it's pretty permanent. It's there. Stone's going to be sitting on the concrete. So you want to be really, really clear what it's going to be. And sometimes it's best to just kind of get in there and get settled first and have that done a little later on. But we have done it and have certainly roughed in the plumbing and so the hot, cold, and gas and electric ready to go for it.
Okay, great. Let's see. Beverly is wondering, she's saying she likes the driftwood, but they would like the living room and the dining room larger by maybe 3 feet in both directions. Is that going to have a huge impact on the cost of the house? And would this also increase the length of the back patio?
Go ahead, Mallory.
Yes, we can. Most definitely, I have done it. I have done that before, particularly on the Wimberley kind of add slices. It would, if we're making the driftwood living room wider, then that rear porch would also be wider as well. And you can definitely, that dining area, push it back 3 feet or to the left. You may, a lot of times when you do that, you end up having to make some other rooms, really any room that's connected, or like a hall wider. But we could definitely get an exact amount of square footage and an exact cost for that.
Yeah, so Beverly, that's a great question. And Dawn, and going back, and we're trying to help visualize what Mallory just said, so if you're talking about wanting to add 3 feet, make it wider this way and deeper that way. Well, if you're going to add 3 feet to the family, yep, you got to add 3 feet to the porch. You got to add 3 feet to either the foyer or the half bath. So that, it's hard to expand one part without expanding all, like she was saying. And then same thing going back, how do you make it go back that way? This you probably could do 3 feet back, but you would definitely have to do the dining area as well. So you would still have a door to go out there. And so all those things combined, because you're not just adding the footage so you may be going up from 2,300 feet to closer to probably 2,600 square feet. But it adds a significant amount. You're talking about 60 feet in the family room, at least, probably another 45 feet through here. So there's 100 already, and then that's just one direction. So then 3 feet across here, you'd be adding another 200 to 300 square feet of living area. So, but like Mallory said, we've certainly done it before and could absolutely do that.
Okay, great. Liz has a question specifically on this plan. So after converting the study into a 4th bedroom, can you still have the upstairs bonus room and still keep the cathedral ceilings?
So I don't have it directly in front of me, but as I recall, yes, because I believe the stairs are added over in the hall where the bedrooms are, and then the bonus room sits over the bedrooms. Right?
Yeah, I believe. Yeah, so and this is one of the few plans where yes, you could still the Wimberley is the same way actually. You could have the cathedral ceiling and still be able to do the bonus room. The LaSalle, for instance, it's tougher to do that. In most of our plans, it's a lot harder to do that. But in this one, because of where the bonus room is, kind of over that the other area, you actually, yes, we can do the 4-bedroom and the cathedral ceiling and still have the bonus room. So it's a little tricky with the HVAC work, but we can get that done. That's not a problem.
Okay. So Pablo and Martin are back again about Texas Grand Ranch. They're curious if we know if they're ever planning on putting natural gas in as an option there.
They are not, Pablo. That's not. They didn't have a contractor or a supplier that wanted to do that, take on that big a project and put in, because they're going to have close to 1,600, 1,700 lots in there. And they just didn't have a contractor that had the wherewithal to run in there and run all that gas line, make that happen. So propane is the option there. We do have a partnership with a propane supplier in Texas Grand Ranch that we can, and we have 250, 500 gallon and 750 gallon propane tanks that we have pricing for all those, but propane is going to be the route you have to go if you're going to want gas in Texas Grand Ranch and a lot of places. It's not uncommon out. Probably Rancho Cielo, where this one's built. I'm guessing it's probably the exact same situation. Mallory, is that right?
Yes.
It's either all electric or propane. Yeah, the Texas Grand Ranch does not have anybody that's putting in natural gas. Great question.
Okay. Beverly has a follow-up question on expanding the living room and dining room. So if we want to pull that floor plan back up.
Sure.
Talking about. She is asking if when she adds that square footage, is that going to align the front and back doors?
I'm going to say no. You probably have to add more footage than the 3 to align the front to the back. But Mallory, you can probably make a little design change and do it without adding any footage.
I was just thinking about that, kind of rearranging that powder and hall and foyer space.
Yeah, I would realign this without adding any footage. If you didn't want to, if you just want the space, but if having the doors lined up, kind of a feng shui thing for you is that we can. There's other ways to do that with creative people like Mallory.
Yeah, I think that would look really neat, actually.
That'd be beautiful, yeah.
And just you open up into one. Oh.
Yep.
All right, great. Liz is asking if there is a way to add a bigger front porch to this plan.
Yes, especially if you're reversing the garage doors like we did here. You could bring it out into the right where the recessed shutters are, or you could bring it out to the left to kind of maintain that front architectural style.
Yeah, that's the thing is, Liz, great question, and something to think about when you start altering really the front or back of any home is when you start adding porch to it, it is going to change the way, completely that it looks, because you've got to have a roof to cover that porch. So, adding it one-dimensionally on just the floor plan drawing is one thing, but then, how the roof is going to look and how it's going to tie into the other planes of the roof that are coming in is something that we consider. But we can absolutely do that and draw it a couple different ways.
Okay, great. Veronica is asking about model homes near Crosby, Texas.
Spring, Texas is going to be right down 1960. So you can hop on over to 1960, come straight down to I-45 and head north. Don't even get on the freeway. Just go through the red light of Cypresswood and you're there. It's about 20-30 minutes from Crosby. We got 2 model homes there. We have the San Jacinto model and we have the Nueces.
All right, great. Tanya is asking if we can handle land clearing, driveway, culvert, well, sewer, and gas services, all that good stuff.
Yes, we can. It does depend. I saw you here in the DFW area, so it would depend on exactly where in DFW. But we do have pricing for septic in a lot of those situations. Water well, we need to get additional pricing on, and then we need to take a look at the property on the land. But yes, the answer is we can handle all of it. But because those things are very, very site specific, we want to get good, accurate bids on that to be sure that we're steering in the right direction.
All right, perfect. And this question's actually come up a couple times, so we'll go ahead and answer it in the video as well as in the comments. People are asking if we build outside of Texas.
Mallory, who are we?
We are a Texas builder.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I wish, the reality is I wish we had the bandwidth to service other areas, but we are really, really focused here on Texas. We've always been here in Texas. We're family owned. The whole family lives here in Texas. The entire Tilson family. So, there's a lot of land in Texas, fortunately. And so it's not a place that we have our sights on to leave anytime soon. But there are other good builders out there, I guess. But I actually don't know of anybody in those other states that do quite what we do, but I'm sure they're there.
Okay, wonderful. That is all of our questions for now.
Very cool. Well, hey, thank everybody so much for coming on and joining us. Appreciate the questions. You can also find us, of course, on our website, tilsonhomes.com. We have 11 design centers that are all open 7 days a week. Right now, of course, we are taking precautions to keep everyone safe. We have all the hand sanitizer and disinfectant and stuff that'll take the hide off your hands if you want to. If it makes you feel safer, we're here to help. You can reach out on our Instagram page, on our Facebook page, go to our YouTube channel, see videos there. Make appointments with great people like Mallory. Mallory, thank you so much for joining us.
Very welcome.
Today. Dawn Dantzler, thank you so much for moderating the chat for us.
Thank you guys so much for doing this.
And hey, look, we really look forward to doing the next one of these for you guys and hope to soon make you part of the Tilson family. Thank y'all. Have a great day.